Mark Zuckerberg just announced the release of Llama 4 series of multimodal models. So this particular Llama 4 comes in 3 flavors. 2 are already available for download. One is Llama 4 Scout. This is the smallest model in this particular series that has 17 billion active parameters. It is a mixture of experts model with 16 experts for a total of 109 billion parameters. And the thing over here is that they say Llama 4 Scout supports industry leading 10 million context length and has optimized inference. Then you have Llama 4 Maverick, which has 17 billion parameters, active parameters basically. It has 128 experts for a total of 400 billion parameters. So this is natively multimodal with 1 million context length. And then you have the biggest teacher model, which is Llama 4 Behemoth, which has 288 billion active parameter. It's also a mixture of experts architecture. It has 2 trillion total parameters. And this they claim as the most intelligent teacher model for distillation. This is only available as a preview. So what they are saying is that Llama 4 Scout can fit into a single NVIDIA H100 GPU when it is 4-bit distilled model. Okay. So if it is a 4-bit quantized model, not a distilled model, if it is a 4-bit quantized model, it can run on an NVIDIA H100 GPU. It has industry-leading context of 10 million, context length, and it delivers better results than Gemma 3, Gemini 2.0 Flash-Lite, Mistral 3.1 across a broad range of widely reported benchmarks. Llama 4 Maverick, they say that it beats GPT-4o, best multimodal model in its class, beating GPT-4o and Gemini 2.0 Flash across a broad range of widely reported benchmarks, while achieving comparable results to the new DeepSeek V3 on reasoning and coding. So this is what they talk about Llama 4 Maverick. Then they have their best model, which is Llama 4 Behemoth, which is a 288 billion active parameter model with 16 experts. It is most powerful yet and among the world's smartest LLMs. That's what they're claiming over here. Outperforms GPT 4.5, Claude Sonnet 3.7 and Gemini 2.0 Pro on several STEM benchmarks. So Llama 4 Scout and Llama 4 Maverick can be downloaded on llama.com or Hugging Face. They have this Llama community license for this particular models. If you go to the Llama community license, what it says that whatever models you are building, if you build any kind of applications using this thing, then you should attribute it and you should say that it should display built with Llama, which is still okay. And then the next thing is that if your monthly active users or products or services made available, if it crosses more than 700 million monthly active users and you are making use of Llama 4, then you need to request for a specific license from Meta, right? So it's not really open source as they claim it to be. And the other thing is that this time when you want to access this particular model, right, if you want to download this model, what it says that you should give your full legal name, date of birth, full organization name with all corporate identifiers. You are not supposed to use acronyms, special characters. If it is truly open source, why do you require the full legal name? Why do you require date of birth, full organization name with all corporate identifiers? So you cannot really claim it to be a true open source. Against it, it's kind of against open source principles is what I feel. So this is what they're saying over here, and even over here it says organization affiliation. Unfortunately, I don't belong to any organization. I'm an independent consultant. Right? It asks for my date of birth. Why does it require all these details to just give access to a claimed open source or open weights model? This is kind of, I don't like, the way they have put this request access or the way they have, framed this community license and then they claim it to be open source and so on, right? Now let's go back over here and let's see a little bit of details. So what they're saying over here is the 2 efficient models, Llama 4 series and Llama 4 Scout. So the Llama 4 Scout can fit into a single H100 GPU with int4 quantization, while the latter, which is the Llama 4 Maverick, can fit onto a single H100 host. Right. So if you look at the benchmarks, what they're saying over here is that they have made use of a mixture of experts model. So where you have a set of experts, you have a router, you also have a shared expert, and then based on the at any point of time, certain experts will be active over here and they will attend to your token. So that is the idea over here. So Llama 4 Maverick models have 17 billion active parameters and 400 billion total parameters. They are using an alternative dense and mixture of experts layer for inference efficiency. So you alternate layers like that. This mixture of expert layer uses 128 rooted experts and a shared expert. Each token is sent to a shared expert and also one of the 128 rooted expert. As a result, while all parameters of them are stored in memory, only a subset of total parameters are activated while serving these models. So that is the mixture of experts model which they are using over here. So in case of Llama 4 Maverick, it is 17 billion active parameters and total of 400 billion because you have 128 rooted experts. In case of Scout, it is 17 billion active parameters and a total of 109 billion parameters because you have 16 routed experts over there. So this is the architecture which they are using over here. Another thing to note over here is that with Llama 4, their post-training pipeline has a different approach. They do more of lightweight supervised fine-tuning than online reinforcement learning, than your preference optimization, which is DPO. Okay, so key learning was that supervised fine-tuning and DPO can over-constrain the model, restricting exploration during the online reinforcement learning stage, leading to suboptimal accuracy in reasoning, coding, and math domains. To address this, they have removed 50% of their tag data, which are tagged as easy by Llama models as a judge, and did lightweight supervised fine-tuning on the remaining harder set. So here they talk about changes in their training pipeline. So maybe you can go into details over here to understand more about that. Here are some benchmarks of Llama 4 Maverick. Here is the cost per 1 million input. So what they're saying is that the cost is comparable to Gemini 2.0 Flash, and the performance is better than GPT-4o across benchmarks, or say Gemini 2.0 Flash or DeepSeek V1. And DeepSeek V3.1 doesn't have multimodal support. So across in the multimodal benchmarks, this has class leading performance. If you look at most of the benchmarks, what they're saying is this has class leading benchmark. That is what benchmark scores. Maybe I'll not go into that. So here they are talking about Llama 4 Scout. This has a 10 million context window. That is what they're seeing, and they have tested it on tasks like retrieval needle in haystack, and it performs very well. So that is what they are talking about over here. So they are talking about something called as a key innovation in the Llama 4 architecture is the use of interleaved attention layers without positional embeddings. They employ inference time temperature scaling of attention to enhance length generalization. They call it as I-rope architecture, where I stands for interleaved attention layers, highlighting the long-term goal of supporting infinite context length, and rope refers to rotary position embeddings. We need to go into a little bit details later on this, what it means. Okay, so they talk about needle in a haystack over here and how Llama 4 Scout performs up to 10 million tokens over here. Okay, what else is there over here? This is the performance of Llama 4 Scout. Again, it is the best performance, and I put the benchmarks over here. It's the best performance in its scale of models. That is what they are trying to say over here. I'll not go into this. What else is there? They talk about the 2 trillion big model, Behemoth. It's also a multimodal mixture of experts. So Llama 4 Behemoth is only a preview, which is a teacher model that demonstrates advanced intelligence among models in its class. It is also a multi-modal mixture of experts with 288 billion active parameters, 16 experts, nearly 2 trillion total parameters. What they're saying is that it offers state-of-art performance for non-reasoning models on math, multilinguality, and image benchmarks. It was the perfect choice to teach the smaller Llama 4 models. So your Llama 4 Maverick is actually a co-distilled model from the Llama 4 Behemoth as teacher. Okay, so if you look at the performance benchmarks over here, they are saying that it does better than Gemini 2.0 Pro, Claude 3.7, GPT 4.5. So what they're saying over here is that they did lightweight supervised fine-tuning followed by large-scale reinforcement learning, which improved, there are significant improvements in reasoning and coding abilities of the model. But they're also saying that scaling reinforcement learning for a 2 trillion parameter model required an revamping of their underlying infrastructure. They optimize the design of the mixture of experts, parallelization for speed. So they have developed a fully asynchronous online reinforcement learning training framework, which enhanced flexibility. This is what they're talking about. So this was all about Llama 4 series of multimodal models. We have to wait for access. I want to really test out these models to see how well they perform. More videos on Llama 4 will be coming up once I get access to these models and I can test it out on various scenarios. Hopefully this video was useful to you. See you in another video.